Hey everyone, welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. I'm Jacob Letman, and welcome to my humble abode. I'm coming to you live from my place because my car is currently being looked at after I let a repair go for a little bit too long. So I wasn't practicing what I preached, and then my car broke down. So anyway, that's why I'm coming to you live from my living room. Alright, so we know that there's some big things going on in the world right now, as you are all well aware, and part of that includes a $2 trillion stimulus package that was signed into law, and that does a couple of great things for the rideshare community. It's going to send most of us $1,200 checks, which I'll cover in this video, who will receive those, how much you can expect, that kind of thing. And it also expands unemployment insurance to include self-employed workers, which includes rideshare drivers. So that is great, and made a couple other videos in regards to this, had some great questions, great feedback. So in this video I'm going to do some question and answers about some important information in regards to this. So the first question is, how do Uber and Lyft drivers apply for unemployment insurance? Great question. First thing that you're going to need to do is going to need to hop on Google, type in your state, and then unemployment insurance. The first website that pops up should be your state's financial assistance page, which includes unemployment insurance. Now, technically, what we qualify for is not unemployment insurance. So each state has their own unemployment insurance program set up. And the people who qualify for that are employees, because their employers pay into the unemployment insurance program. Therefore, if they have to lay someone off, then those employees can gain those benefits while they look for a new job. So that's how that system works, and that is why self-employed workers, rideshare workers, don't qualify for unemployment insurance, because we don't pay into that. Uber and Lyft do not pay into that, so they're basically outside of that program. So what we do qualify for, though, is the federal law that was just passed. It's called the CARES Act, which is Corona something. Anyway, under that is the Pandemic Unemployment Insurance umbrella, and that includes freelance workers, self-employed people, gig workers, rideshare drivers. So technically, we are applying for Pandemic Unemployment Insurance. However, you will go to the same website, your state's federal assistance or financial assistance website. You'll go to the same place to find the information that you need, and also to submit and hopefully get accepted into the program. Okay, so how do you do it? Well, first you got to go to that website, read the information, see what it says in pertaining to pandemic unemployment insurance, or if you're self-employed and you're looking to apply, you're going to have to do reading. I can't do it because it's different state to state, and I've looked at several different state websites, and there's no way around it. You got to do a lot of reading. You got to do a lot of research. But if you want the benefit of having those unemployment insurance checks coming in, it's worth it. Okay, how much will you be eligible to receive? Great question. State amount is going to vary state by state, because it's based on how much your state pays out. There is a max that each state pays out per week. There is an average amount, and so I've heard two things. One is half the state average, and there'll be two payments. So the first payment will be from the state and will be half the state average. Another source said that it will be going off of a disaster unemployment assistance calculator. Your guess is as good as mine on what that actually means and how that'll be calculated. But anyway, should you qualify, You will qualify for that state payment, whatever it may be, different state to state. You will also qualify for a federal $600 a week check. So that's coming from the federal government, right? So two. So you'll get at least $600 and then whatever that state amount is. That's how much you'll get each week. Okay, switching gears a little bit, talking about the stimulus checks. How do you claim your stimulus check? Well, good news is you don't have to do anything. Congratulations. All you have to do is, well, that might not necessarily be true. You might need to do a little something. So if you filed your taxes in 2018, you don't have to do anything. Unless you moved and, well, let me back up. If you filed your taxes in 2018 and you received a direct deposit, if you got a return, received a direct deposit, you don't have to do anything. If you filed your taxes in 2019, received a direct deposit, and you didn't move, or anything, no, that's fine. If you received a direct deposit, you don't have to do anything. That check will go to the IRS. Those funds are being distributed to the IRS, which will be in turn distributed to taxpayers. Now, if you got a paper check, it's going to take longer to get to you, and if you haven't filed in 2019, that's okay. They'll be going off of the 2018 tax returns. So if your address has changed since 2018 and you received your check in the mail, you're going to want to get on the IRS, on their website. I don't know if you have an account on there or how that might go, but you need to try and update your information to make sure that your mailing address is where you live right now so that that check comes to you. And you might even be able to update it so that you get it direct deposited. Now, what do you need to have? You need to have a social security number. That's what you need to have. So if you have a social security number, doesn't matter if you're unemployed, doesn't matter if you're watching this because you drive 2 hours a week for rideshare, you'll still get a stimulus check. The only way you won't is if after $75,000 of income per individual, those amounts will start to go down, and I believe after $99,000 per individual, if you're up in that threshold, you won't receive one. If you have children, you should receive $500 per child that is listed as a dependent on your tax return. Again, that information is going to come from your most recent tax return file. So if not 2019, it'll come from 2018. So that's what you should be looking out for. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is a really good question. Do Uber and Lyft drivers need to stop driving in order to receive unemployment insurance? Great question. After a little digging, the answer is no. Because all we're going to have to prove as self-employed people is that our earnings have gone significantly down. Maybe not even significantly. We just have to show a decrease in earnings that has affected our living. That's the way that I understand it so far. Again, once I'm able to try and submit to receive unemployment insurance, I'll know more about the process and what they're looking for. But you don't need to stop driving. No. Let's see. Okay. Do gig workers qualify for unemployment insurance? Pretty sure I already answered this one. There's two separate programs, so technically no. Technically no. Again, Uber and Lyft don't pay into that. We're not employees. But we do qualify for pandemic unemployment assistance, which is the new federal program which expands the state unemployment insurance benefits. So yes, in a roundabout way. That's the important thing that you need to know. How do you know if you qualify? So again, the unemployment insurance website for your state is going to be your absolute best source of information. Nobody else on YouTube or anywhere, promise, that website will have the information. They are the place to go because they are where you will be applying for unemployment insurance benefits. So go to their website, do the reading, see what it says, see what you can find out, If you have further questions, that's really unfortunate because I know I do, but it's really difficult to get a hold of anyone at these places right now because they're just slammed with people applying. Here's another great question. Will Uber and Lyft deactivate drivers who file for unemployment insurance? No, they won't. That would hurt them big time. There's no reason for them to... It's a great question, don't get me wrong. Very good question. But there is no reason for them to deactivate drivers because it's not hurting them at all. They don't pay into it, so they're not losing anything off of it. All it does is help their workers to have money in their pockets while their platforms are down with ride requests, right? So basically, they're getting a stimulus package in the sense that their workers are all getting bailed out by the federal government, and they haven't had to do anything to help us out. So they really got lucky. This is their stimulus package, essentially. Okay, when and who gets a stimulus check? Okay, so I kind of covered this again. As long as you have a social security number, that is like the one stipulation. Have a social security number. You will get a stimulus check as long as you don't make over $75,000, which you'll still get one, but how much you get goes down and down, less and less until you hit $99,000 of income per individual, and then you won't receive one. Excuse me. So most people watching this, you make less than $75,000 a year per individual, you will. Your family, so if you're a couple, you're married, you file as a couple. As long as you don't make over $150,000 as a couple, you'll get $2,400 for your household. Again, this is going off of 2018 taxes, and each child, no. It's going off of 2018 taxes if you have not filed 2019 taxes. And then each child that you have listed as a dependent on your tax return or on your taxes, you'll receive $500 per child for that. So if you need any more information, so 2 things to take away from this video. I know there's a lot of information, but 2 great resources. The IRS website, if you have any questions that pertain to your stimulus check, or if you need to update your address of where you live so that check gets to you, that's your place to go. If you have questions in regards to unemployment insurance benefits, how they work in your state, if you can't apply for them in your state yet, all of that information, you're going to Google your state and unemployment insurance. The website will pop up, go there. That's going to be your best source of information. All right. There's a lot of info. I need to get some water. Feeling dehydrated. I'm going to keep going through all the questions that you guys have, and I'll keep making videos. I'm going to keep finding out more information. This is highly important because it's going to keep us afloat financially until we're on the other side of this craziness, this sickness that's going on in the world right now. So thanks for being here. Jump down in the comment section. Get at me with any questions you have. I'm Jacob Letman. This is the Rideshare Hub. Until the next time, stay safe, everyone.